Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday, and I'm actually on time today. Thanksgiving threw me off a little bit last week. I was a little bit late. You guys kept me on my toes, but I'm back at the normal time this week. And yeah, again, no hat on the head. But if you are observant, you may have noticed I did include it. Still, it's still here. So at least it's around this time. I actually had gotten the idea from someone who was kind of giving me some feedback on a couple things in the show, and they were like, "Well, you don't have to completely leave the hat out. You could have the hat kind of in the background or something while you're using the headset." And the reason being, I had been told by multiple people my audio was much better with this headset. Again, I'm using a Plantronics Voyager Focus UC, and it is wonderful. So I was like, all right, well, I don't want to sacrifice the audio quality, but I mean, the hat has become a critical part of the show. So for the moment, I have the hat in the background, but I have ordered at the suggestion of this same person. And after doing a little bit of my own research, I ordered a Blue Yeti microphone, USB microphone. So that should be coming sometime next week, and I should be able to plop that right in front of me here and be able to talk into that while still wearing my hat and getting the show done. And then my audio may even improve even more at that point. I'm thinking it probably will. So at any rate, um, joking aside, I appreciate everybody's honest feedback on the show. It's been great. A lot of you have said you're enjoying it out there. You've given me positive direction about which way to take it. One of the suggestions was for me to include maybe like my Twitter handle and links to all the content that I mentioned and my blog link and all that within the description of these videos on YouTube. Very good idea, and I'm going to start trying to do that if I can. That was an excellent point there. So either that or make sure that I get a blog post written for each episode that has all that detail in it, and then put the link to that blog post in the video description. One or the other, we'll get the job done. So at any rate, um, new week and a busy week. Busy for me and for the community. Um, for me, first, I'm going to touch on that first. I'm gonna do my own little plug at the beginning of the show while I've still got your attention, and then maybe you can hang around so that we can talk about E5 a bit. But so this week, I, in conjunction with the E5 launch, had been working on a project and a personal project of my own, and had planned the launch of a new ebook to be my first ebook to be right around the same time as the E5 launch. And it just so happened that I crunched many hours at night for several nights, especially during the holiday week, and I was able to launch this ebook in the TechNet Gallery on the same day that E5 launched. So it was very fitting and appropriate. This new ebook is the Skype for Business Hybrid Handbook. As you can tell from the name, it's supposed to be about all things hybrid in the Skype for Business realm, to cover as many topics that you could possibly want to cover when it comes to building a hybrid Skype for Business environment. Um, and so far, the reception for the book has been really good. I've gotten some great feedback from people. There's even a spot or two where I had some corrections pointed out, and I love that. I'm going to be modifying a couple sections really quickly here. It's supposed to be kind of a living book. This content hybrid Skype for Business Online, it changes so often, and the offerings change so often, and the mechanisms for connecting your on-prem to online are in a constant state of change or subject to new features, etc. That I envision this book being something that is in constant evolution. Whereas there may be major revisions here and there, major additions that I release, there will be minor changes in between that I'm putting out into TechNet as well, just so that the latest and most accurate information is there. And the goal of the book is to involve the community. Having all of you download it and check it out and give me your honest feedback has been great. That's exactly what I want. I want this book to be a tool that can be used for all link admins, all link engineers across the board if that are going to be working on or setting up a hybrid environment. I want them to be able to use it as a handbook, as a guide, as a reference to all the different areas they could be working on in a hybrid environment. So For instance, one of the things was I had a incorrect section in there about moving a user back from Skype for Business Online into Skype for Business on-prem, and I had given the instructions for doing that via PowerShell, which is still all fine and good. But I hadn't realized, and looking at documentation I was looking at, I hadn't realized you could actually still pull them back from within the on-prem control panel. I had that pointed out to me, and that's awesome. I've since gone through and documented and screenshotted and gotten all that into play from a new fresh lab, and I will be incorporating that into the book very soon. Thanks to your support and your retweets and your shares on LinkedIn, etc. I'm right around the 175 download mark. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. It's only been like, 3 days. And so I feel pretty good about those numbers. Someone even threw a review out there for me and was kind enough to give me 5 stars. So thanks for that. For the rest of you, if you've gotten a chance to read it or dig through it and you have a few moments to rate it, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Again, all the feedback from the community really helps. So, very exciting thing for me. Like I said, I haven't written anything before, any books, any bigger documents like this. It's about 71 pages currently and is about to grow. Um, so this was kind of a big deal for me, and it was an exciting thing to launch. So, thank you again for all your support as I launched, for all the help, and for those that are taking the time to give me feedback and helping to make it better. Man, it means the world, and I appreciate it. All right. So now that I've had a chance to kind of go over my own little self self promotion bit there on the beginning of the show, the real story of the week, and this is going to take up the majority of this episode today, was E5. Skype for Business Online has some big new changes that came with the brand new Office 365 E5 license. And this was a big deal. I mean, it's been hyped for months and months. Blog posts and online magazine articles, etc., have been written. There has been much hyping going on at conferences, and finally, E5 is here. General availability hit on Tuesday, I think it was the 1st of December, and much fanfare. Everybody's excited and thrilled. Let's really quick go over some of what is included in this kind of top of the line subscription that you can get. This all inclusive, for the most part, license. First off, you can expect to get the full Office suite through it. So that's a pretty awesome thing right there. You're not having to worry about providing your own copies and licenses for Office. You can download all that with this E5 license for each user. Now, we're not just talking about Office Online, using OA and Excel Online and all that stuff. We're talking about actual downloaded copies onto your desktop. So this is pretty cool. Um, Online conferencing is a given. I mean, that comes with Skype for Business Online. Meeting broadcast is a big one. That's been in preview for a while. The new Skype for Business video broadcast they've been doing for several weeks now. They've been doing over meeting broadcast, and the big thing is the ability to broadcast to up to 10,000 users at a time and kind of get some live polling going during the broadcast. And it's obviously not meant to be a hugely interactive meeting with the speaker. It's more of an speaker to audience format, but that's a very big audience that you can reach. So meeting broadcast is included in the license. Skype for Business Online, and obviously is there with Exchange Online and SharePoint Online, along with your Skype for Business Online, of course, the connectivity to the commercial Skype directory, PSTN conferencing, so that's pretty big. Before it had to be kind of a third-party deal there, and now it's not. It's Microsoft's own offering. Cloud PBX. This is the big one. This is the one that so many people have said, this is a huge game changer. We're not, in nobody's saying that it's a 100% complete replacement for enterprise voice, because it's not. There are still a great number of features that you cannot get with your Cloud PBX that are only available through enterprise voice. For a listing of those and a breakdown, please check out my new book, Skype for Business Hybrid Handbook, where I've kind of gotten a couple tables that break down differences and versions. But Cloud PBX is huge. I mean, bringing phone capabilities into the cloud. Where you can set up call forwarding, call hold, all the good little call control features that you would want. You get all those things through Cloud PBX. You can get your phone number from the cloud, all within Office 365, and PSTN connectivity can then be added on to your E5 license. And so Cloud PBX is included in E5. The actual ability to make the calls and the PSTN connectivity is an additional cost. So it still comes out to be a great deal. But essentially, you do not have to have an on-prem PBX or IPPBX setup. You do not have to have on-prem PSTN connectivity. If you don't have advanced enterprise voice needs, you can do all your calling, all your email, all your Skype for Business, a truly unified communications experience, all from within Office 365. And that is just a huge game-changing concept. So Cloud PBX was really kind of, to me, the highlights of this new this launch. Other people, I know there was conferencing features that were the big deal to them, meeting broadcast, but personally, it was Cloud PBX. So what else we got? RMS, Rights Management Service, is included. 1 terabyte of OneDrive space, Yammer, Power BI, and then a few other features that are all included in this. Very good deal for $35 a month per user. So yeah, that's really awesome. And on top of that, these cool new features: Cloud PBX, Skype for Business, PSTN conferencing. These are features that you can add on to like a Skype for Business online plan 2 or an E3 license or whatever. So like Cloud PBX is an additional $8 per user per month. Then of course you do have to add in, either you either have to have connectivity through your on-prem PSTN or PSTN connectivity, or you have to purchase, like online voice uh, through through Office 365 to actually get the calls flowing. But you can add Cloud PBX as an add-on. PSTN conferencing is an extra $4 per user per month. So these are pretty big deals. All the way around, E5 is amazing. It is a game-changing offering to bring to the market. There's huge market potential here, and many partners are making sure that they are riding that wave as it starts. Uh, it's a good time to be in the business. A lot of us are really excited to see this. So, at any rate, like I said, E5 was the bulk of what I saw this week. There were a few other things announced here and there on Twitter and LinkedIn, and things talked about, but for the most part, there was just a lot of traffic around E5 that launch. People putting out new blog posts covering different features and pieces of it. All-inclusive guides to E5, etc. That was all over the place. So I'll stop yakking about it. That's about all I got to say about it. We've all known it's coming for a while. We all have known what it's going to include, but it's here. It's time to start kicking the tires. It's time to start bringing it to our customers, and it's time to start pushing hybrid, because that's where it's going to be in the future. So hybrid is an amazing concept that Microsoft has planned very well for, in my opinion. So lastly, one little call out I wanted to put out there was the NextHop blog for Skype for Business is in the process of rebranding and coming back. So a few different people shared that on Twitter, and that is exciting. Seeing NextHop blogs out there for other products, but not so much for Skype for Business as of late, kind of disappointing. Makes you feel like it's hasn't really been treated as a first-class citizen in the Office suite there. But I think Skype for Business is experiencing a huge amount of growth, and both on-prem now and especially online. So I think things are moving on up in the world there, and excited to see that blog launch. I'm kind of at the end of my time here. I wish I could yak on more, but again, thank you all so much for the support this week on the book. Please, if you haven't seen it or checked it out, check out the link that I will provide in the description for the video and on the blog to go check out the book. Give it a download if you read it. Please give it a review. And if you find it useful, share it with your other peers in the Skype for Business link community. And if you have any other feedback on the video, on the blog, on any of that, again, please let me know. If you are entertained or amused at all by my shows, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Once I get those numbers up, I can actually get a more friendly URL out there. Goodness, I have to wait for 100 subscribers, and I'm like at, I don't know, 35 or something, or 36. It's going to be a long road. But at any rate, happy Friday, everybody. You have a great weekend. Happy December, and I hope that we will see you all here again next Friday. Goodbye.